The east-west road that connects many states in the south-south is in very deplorable state and can best be described as a traveler's nightmare.
Indeed, like you just said, it's very sad indeed. A project that was approved in 2006 and is still in a sorry state. Now, bad portions of the road have caused tankers to run into ditches, leading to loss of lives and man-hours in traffic. Commuters, motorists, and even travelers want a complete rehabilitation of the road.
Yes, indeed. Now, TVC correspondent Niger George is standing by at the Mbiama axis of the east-west road. Hello, good morning, Niger. What's happening really where you are? Describe that particular portion of the road for us.
Good morning, but not exactly a pleasant time here at the Mbiama axis of the east-west road. But let's go down memory lane if we can, just a few seconds. The construction of the east-west road contract was awarded in 2006 by the administration of Olusegun Obasanjo, and it was in the hands of the Federal Ministry of Works. But in 2008, the Niger Delta Ministry took over, and ever since, not much has been done. The road is now a metaphor for neglect, as over the years, failed promises dot the lines and potholes of this long stretch of road, all the way from Ondo State, through Edo State, to Delta State, and then Bayelsa. From Bayelsa, it stretches to River State, Akwa Ibom State, and Cross River State.
Let government fix it. If they fix it, to reduce the nightmare, the pains we go through. For instance, now my parents, they are screaming, they are shouting, I should own the AC. There is an amount of money given to me for AC. So if I burn the fuel on this, and probably the fuel will not take me to my destination.
Road is bad. This is east-west road, important road for us. From Calabar, Port Harcourt, River State, Bayelsa. This road is very important to us. At least they need to do this road. Now business is slowed down for people that are traveling. So like me, I spent 3 hours. Before I spent at least from Port Harcourt to 2 hours 30. Now I spent almost 5 hours now. I've not get to my destination. So I pray, let the government come and do something on this road.
It is actually disheartening to see that this road is at this state. Knowing fully well that we have refinery in River State. Knowing fully well that we have refinery in Delta State, Warri here. Tankers ply this road on a daily basis, distributing fuel in this region. And this road is kept at this level, causing chaos, causing tankers to fall every now and then. Then businesses.
It is a critical time in the history of Nigeria, a country that is trying to break free from the stranglehold of an economic recession. But if what the people are saying is anything to go by, then this is the perfect opportunity for the Muhammadu Buhari administration to write its name in gold by completing the dilapidated east-west road, begun and brought to this point by previous administrations.
Niger George, our correspondent there, setting the foundation for the discussion we're going to have very, very soon with our respondent now, sitting in our Port Harcourt studio, public affairs analyst, Kaska Ogosu. Good morning to you and thank you for joining us on the show. Well, let me just go pretty much into the first question so we can confirm if you can hear us, really. Yes, the deplorable state of the east-west road. First off, how do you feel as a Nigerian and someone from that region? Well, it seems we are
unfortunately, it looks like our guest, Kaska Ogosu, cannot hear us from Port Harcourt. We'll try to fix that as quickly as we can so that we can have that discussion on the poor state of the east-west road. Of course, the people of River State especially have been crying themselves hoarse, that government should do something very quickly about that. And like one of the respondents said, the fact that, Nigeria's oil industry is actually to a very large extent located in that particular area. And, you have this kind of neglect coming from governments, previous governments, down the line seemed to neglect, you know, that road, the East-West road. And of course, Little Mite, a very popular son of the Niger Delta, has taken government to court, to enforce their fundamental human rights, saying the neglect of that road is a total infringement on their rights.
Well, the minister, of course, has approved a portion, contracted a portion of the road to a contractor to fix it. But then people were saying that, is it about fixing or just doing the road? Because if you spend money on just fixing a portion of it, it's going to cave in pretty soon. And
absolutely. And according to the NDDC boss, the federal government is going to require some 70 billion naira.
Indeed, we
have to fix that road. We hear that we have our guest back. We can now connect with him. You want to ask the question you asked him earlier? All right,
Casca, thank you for joining us again. We hope you get to talk to us this time around. Earlier, I asked you how you feel about the deplorable condition of the East-West road as a Nigerian first off and as someone from that region.
Thank you for your question. My feeling is as good as that of other Nigerians who are using that road. It is a terrible thing. We feel totally alienated from the Nigerian nation. People from this part of the world are totally forgotten. Nobody is caring about this East-West road. The flank from Warri to Mbiama is something you don't wish even your enemy. You spend 4, 5, 6 hours on that particular flank of the road. Crossing there down into the River State is a no-go area. When you also get from there into Port Harcourt, get to the East-West road flank there from Eleme Junction to Akwa Ibom sector, people have diverted from there totally. There are refineries, there are 2 refineries. The first refinery in Nigeria there. The second refinery is also there. They are those feeding the nation in terms of fuel consumption. The Indoram Eleme Petrochemical is just there. The bridge built in 1956 by Shell, just to cross and go and take the oil, the crude oil there, is still what we are using. That bridge cut off. Up to today, it was just a small patch up there. Vehicular traffic on this road is over 10,000 vehicles in a day. In fact, I'm not talking a day, per hour. Find out from your Federal Ministry of Works. They will give you most of the data. And then you allow this road just one lane going, one coming. The road is totally cut off. Every day there are just little patches here and there. The Akwa Ibom flank is a no-go area also. Look at the one linking from Itu Bridge into Calabar. It is hell. Why must we be treated this way? We feel totally sad. 2 weeks back, some youths from River State went for a church program in Warri. It took them over 12 hours, Warri to Port Harcourt. Where does it happen in the world that a road that had been started 11 years back up to today is still the way it was? We will soon go into Guinness Book of Records as the only government that is never serious in fixing our roads. Look at the multiplier effect of it, negative aspects of it. You spend so many million man hours on the road, quantify it by cash, several trillions of naira is wasted, idle, just stay in one place. These youths couldn't get home from 12 in the afternoon when they started their journey until 11 with the hazards of that road. Heavy trucks blocking the whole access place. Now kidnappers have seized this opportunity to hang at bad spots to kidnap people. We have to call the police to send patrol vehicles to walk around the clock so that these children can go home. If you're a parent and your child has gone on a trip and it's not back, how do you feel? Psychologically, socially, you are traumatized. This thing must stop. Let Nigeria know that we all belong to the same government, to the same country. Every government that has come, right from President Olusegun Obasanjo, Jonathan, up till now, nobody is doing anything. We want a president who will take the credit for fixing this road. So that people will stop this heavy sleeping on the road.
Yes, indeed. We do understand that.
Some of you in the media are trying. Help us the more.
Of course, it's you've painted a very.
People should help us the more.
You've painted a very. Do understand that.
Some of you in the media are trying. Help us the more.
Of course, it's you've painted a very.
People should help us the more.
You've painted a very.
Journalism is something that can drive home this message.
Yes, indeed, and the message we really do hope is is driven home. Now, the NDDC, one of the government's interventions in the Niger Delta, says it will partner with private investors to actually, help in rehabilitating not only the Eleme on part of the East-West Road, but hopefully the whole of the East-West Road. What do you think about this partnership that the NDDC is planning to go into? Do you think there's enough incentive really to encourage private participation?
Yes, it is a child's play. If you go to that flank, the Eleme axis down to One is a child's play. The contractor there, I don't think is a road worker. He doesn't know anything about construction. Go there, as I'm telling you now. They are patching and scooping up the asphalt, repatching under the rain. When the sun is there, you don't see anybody. They all go to bed to sleep. NDDC should cancel that job. Whatever they think they are doing there is a waste of time. From One to Port Harcourt is just about 42 kilometers. It took me over 5 hours to get back home. As I was coming to the studio this morning, it took me 3 hours to come. 45 kilometers. Where does it happen? How can they say they are assisting in fixing the road with a private partner? Let them come and inspect that road and see. Let them come physically, or send your cameraman and crewmen to go there now and see what is happening. You will just weep for Nigeria. We are not serious. We have neglected the transport sector, the road. When big dignitaries come, they fly with their chopper and land. All the top politicians, they drive Hummer jeeps or cars that look like tankers. And then cross that road with security aids chasing you into the ditch again. Nobody cares. These are the people, in fact, squandering all our funds in the name of assemblies, national or state assembly.
All right,
they are earning in millions. That road is neglected. What are our people doing there in the assemblies? What have they done? Have they asked government or relevant agencies, come and tell us what is happening to this road? They fly in choppers and come in expensive cars and chase you off the road. We will soon revolt. The public will soon revolt one day against them. And let government know that we are also part of Nigeria. You are making over 80% of your revenue from this part of the world, and you neglect your... Is here a farm? You know, even if it's a farmland, you must make a track to go to your farm. But this is worse than a track to a farmland. Government should revisit this road properly. Get very serious contractors. From what we heard, even the contractor handling that flank between the petrochemical Eleme Junction and One axis, that man has taken money and escaped. Let NDDC come, unless they have connived with the contractor to do so let it be. But one day, posterity will judge them.
All right.
Posterity will definitely judge them. When the youths now start responding in a violent action, you say Niger Deltans are militants. You call them different names. Let them come and fix this road.
Casca, let me come in here now. All right, the governors in the Niger Delta region, what do you think they can do? Because this road now has been in the deplorable state for about 11 years now, even more than that, before the approval of the first project by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. What do you think state governments from the Niger Delta can do to help the importance of the road and the need for it to be completed?
I am not in government, but I will say that some of them are trying. Sometimes they just do palliative measures. Just patch the road. It will be motorable for some time. But the volume of traffic on this road destroys it. What stops government from making this a 6-lane? What stops government? Look at the volume of traffic coming from the Nigerian Ports Authority alone. Look at the one coming from the oil and gas free zone. In the oil and gas free zone in One, there are over 240 multinational companies operating there. Go and find out. So what is government doing? Will state government come and expand the road for them? It's a federal highway, as it is happening in other parts of the country, up north and so on. What stops them from this same here? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We are not happy. Everybody is annoyed. Children, the other day, tanker fell on commuters and killed over 2 persons on foot. People walking on foot. We are crushed.
Really unfortunate situation that that road has led to the snuffing of lives, from so many Nigerians, including a young lady who died on that road recently that led to Ledumite taking government to court. Now, still on the issue. On the issue of whether, what the state governors or state governments are doing to actually alleviate the situation. In Lagos, for example, you have the state government over the years actually taking over some of these federal roads and, go back to government and say, this is what we have spent on fixing this road, and the government pays back. Don't you think that that is a cue that, governors of the Niger Delta can actually, take on? At least take a cue from that.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. Most of the states do so and go to government to collect back a refund. That if you are in the good books of the federal government. If you are not, clearly they have politicized everything. We have forgotten that once you win an election as a local government chairman, you are chairman for everybody. If you win at the state level, you are governor to everybody. If you win at the national level, the presidency, you are the president of Nigeria, not the president of just a section of Nigeria. That is the problem. You invest all the little money you are getting and from your internally generated revenue, you put all on working the federal road. What of your own internal roads? What do? Who handles it? It's a whole big problem. It's a whole big problem. For states that have succeeded in collecting these monies from the federal government, kudos to them. They have tried. I think other state governments, especially in the Niger Delta, should also try to do same. But I bet you, I know like in River State, a lot of funds, I don't work for government, I'm not in government, but we've heard that a lot of funds which was spent on these federal roads are yet to be taken back. How do you continue doing that? So most of them will now concentrate on delivering their own areas where they are governing, so that the people can also see them that they are working. You work on the federal roads, everybody in your constituency will say it's federal government project. It's federal government project. So I think politically some of them are also careful. But the masses are suffering. The masses are suffering. Let them come out, mobilize funds, talk to some private companies in their states. I know private companies have also been assisting, but they will also tell you they have paid their tax to the federal government. They paid all the statutory charges. So what else do you want them to do? It's a problem, my sister. It's a problem.
All right.
Federal government should step in because they get all their revenues from here. Last first quarter of this year, how many trillions or billions were made from on-air free zone alone in terms of charges from the MPA, charges by customs, and so on and so forth? That half, 1/10 of what they generate from this flank can fix that road 10 lane. And you will not lose. Or allow private investors to take over the road, do it and collect tolls. That's the next line of action now. Allow private investors to fix this road, concession it, let them collect monies from it, and then over a period of time before they hand over.
Casca,
let me stop government from doing that if they don't have the funds for it.
Casca, my partner asked you a similar question earlier on, but you were somehow against it when she asked that NDC, of course, NDDC made the announcement that it was working with a private contractor. But then, so let me rephrase it this way, that like you just said, you're saying that it won't be a bad idea if the government engages in public-private sector partnership and they concession the roads to get money back?
Yes, it's not bad. It's not a bad idea. Yes. Because if the road has overwhelmed federal government or any government, so let them get private investors involved. So that the people do it, and they are doing it to standard, to what a road is supposed to look like. But when you get all these contractors, all of them we are giving most of these jobs for political patronage, nothing more, not because of their expertise. What stops NDDC from giving this job to companies like Julius Berger, or ROCC, or some other companies that have made name? One unknown contractor, never heard of in construction world, never. He cannot even do a village culvert. He's sent to fix that big road. It is a harakiri.
Now, if private investors,
it is unfair to us.
If private investors really do put their money where the mouth is, in coming into intervening in this East-West road, would the people really be willing to pay tolls, like you have in Lagos, for example, where there was a huge outcry with the Lekki, Ekpe, toll gates, that, of course, that was built by private investors and all of that. Do you think the people will be willing to pay toll if private investors came in?
Why wouldn't they pay? In fact, it's a gold mine doing that. The money they will generate, you don't charge tolls from bicycles or pedestrians. It's vehicle. If you are driving a car, you should pay 100 naira, 200 naira, as the case may be, or whatever charge that the people can pay. For heavy trucks and those company vehicles, they also have their own charges. What stops them from paying? No reasonable human being will say he will not pay. No reasonable human being. I believe they will pay. I will use a good road. You buy a car today, tomorrow the car is gone.
Casca, if you ask many Nigerians really, and like she said, there was a huge outcry in Lagos when former Governor Fashola did that. Many Nigerians, of course, in the past that I even spoke with on issues like this would tell you that they are taxpayers. So road infrastructure is supposed to be one of the dividends of democracy they are supposed to enjoy. So why would they pay tax and then be forced to pay toll again to apply road made for them?
If you look at the scenario for now, are they not paying? Are they not still using it? They are doing. Normally, we Nigerians, when a new thing happens, people will stand to resist a bit. After the resistance, and many people are doing it, you see everybody flows along. Definitely people will complain because you are paying for light, you don't even see light. You are paying for what you don't see. You pay for what you don't use. Let me leave that aspect of light out of it because it's not part of our discussion. But however, once this road is filled, you see crime rate will drop. A lot of people who are idle now don't have anything to do. Some of them reside permanently in the city. They can't go home because of no road. What are they doing in the city? No job. Your rent has expired. You don't want to go. You start hanging under the bridge, harassing people, stealing, kidnapping. It cannot happen like that continuously. Road is a major urban developer. So we need this road. Either by whatever means government will use, let them do it to show us that we are in the same country called Nigeria. Here it's treated like a different world altogether.
And now many contractors we hear will be handling the construction of the remaining portions of the road. How advisable or desirable is this? Who do you hold responsible where quality,
that's a problem. Is it for political patronage? Give it to one so they can hold him responsible. Give it to one contractor, reputable one, and hold him responsible. Then monitor. You don't just give a project, multi-billion naira project, and then go to the bed and sleep, and then you monitor it through telephone. No, it is not. There should be milestones, and then you take a video clip of it and show the world that you are working. There is no supervision. The few that are on the road here, no supervision at all. The most annoying is the one walking that flank between Eleme Junction and One Trailer Park Junction. That one is the most. In fact, that man is supposed to go to jail. I'm not a judge. I'm not a policeman. But let government come down and see the sort of job going on there. You'll weep for Nigeria. That is why we can never develop more than this speed. It's a terrible exercise the man is doing there.
And for the quality of project being carried, work being carried out,
the community may go and chase out the
all right, Casca, for the quality of work being carried out, according to you now, and then looking at the amount already
in fact, there's nothing like quality.
Casca,
no quality of job there.
Okay, yeah. Looking at the amount of money already pumped into the EastWest Road project from the Obasanjo administration, he awarded about 211 billion naira, though later on, of course, the government discovered that it wasn't even captured in the 2007 project. But then, former Governor Goodluck Jonathan raised it to about 726 billion naira. And so far, it seems the money has not even been accounted for. Do you think the government now of today, before going ahead to even allow NDDC to do anything more on the road, should carry out a probe of how the monies so far were spent?
I will say, let me say it boldly and stand to be arrested at any time. The government should be held responsible. You give billions of naira job to somebody, you did not monitor it. What happened to them? What did you do to those who failed to deliver on your mandate? That means connivance. Government connive with them to squander the money. If not, if you have given a job of even 1,000 naira, 2,000 to somebody, you must go and find out what is the extent of job you have done. Privately, they do it to themselves. But when it comes to government, they connive to steal the money. That is why corruption will still eat and kill us in this country. Why did that government not monitor the project? 200 and something, 300 and something billion, and so on. Government should put in more and follow up. They should follow up and monitor the road project, because this is where the golden egg is being laid. If you play with it, and the hen that lays that golden egg dies, that's the end of us.
And of course, the chairman of the NDDC has actually said that there will be a centralized monitoring of projects that go on for effective outcomes of some of these projects. Would you would support that kind of policy in place, wouldn't you?
It's a laughing matter. It's a laughing matter. It does not take the MD or the chairman to come to see. They have their line officers. They have managers whose responsibility is to monitor this job. Do they come?
Yes, but they want that monitoring.
Go to the element.
They want that monitoring to be centralized so that they can actually effectively monitor the jobs that go on in that. Not
that
only
is why
even
it
with
cannot
the
deliver.
East-West Road.
He will be overburdened by the exigency of office. How can he now combine that with other demands of monitoring? They have engineers. They have engineers. They have inspectors. They've been doing it. They only end up sharing the money 50-50, and they tell you go away. They take their own booty and go. Driving flashy car, building big mansions all over. They should be prosecuted. They should be prosecuted. What I am saying is right now on ground. Go and see. See and believe. Go and see practically now. Anybody wants to go, I will take you down there now. Those within Port Harcourt. I'm sure NDDC management is listening to this interview. Let them call me at any time. I'll go with them. And let them come and see it. Even as at today, they are yet to complete what they do. They concentrate on one flank of the road, the one lane. As they finish, the other one is already totally beyond repairs. They now manage to go back there, keep all the cars hanging for hours, no movement. All what you see is some military or policemen with big cane, koboko, flogging all those on the road, chasing to climb on top of the other vehicle to give them way to cross. Why? We are one Nigeria. We're all Nigerians. If you pay 1 million naira tax, maybe that is how your turnover is. If I pay 1,000, tax is tax. Why chase me off the road? One driver was being flogged to a state of stupor because he could not climb on another vehicle or jump into a ditch. They were carrying some company workers down. And then we are happy. We are treating Nigerians this way. During the colonial era, we were saying the white men were very wicked. Nigerians are more wicked than white men. Frankly speaking, in our attitude to work,
you can't
attitude
generalize,
to discharge of functions, it is a terrible thing.
Okay, Casca, let me just come here, but you can't generalize the Nigerians.
Well, I am using my own environment. I'm using my own environment.
It's your opinion. Anyways, but how do you feel about...
Not yours.
Okay, Casca. So how do you feel about the information we got earlier that the federal government is fine-tuning the process of increasing the budgetary allocation for that project there? And then, of course, like we said earlier, the need for transparency. I feel excited.
Baby. We've had this for long. Every time federal government wants to do, one time they came and did a ceremony that the road, they are flanking on they want to kick off the reconstruction of that road. Everybody was jubilating, jumping back and forth, celebrated, brought some masquerades to play. Till today, it went into limbo. So let it happen. Let's see it. It is good. I'm excited. I have been changing my car parts severally up till now. How much do I make? Every day you go to a mechanic to fix your car, the charges are going higher every day. It's impinging, it's paining me, it's pinching me seriously. I'm not comfortable. What of others who are not opportune to come on television to talk what they are suffering? Basically, those who are riding motorbike, of course, they kill them on daily basis. All these tankers that don't have respect for road ethics. Nobody has respect for this bigger car. We chase the smaller car away from the road. So the smaller car vents their anger on the motorbike or the Okada man.
Very troubling.
You see, it's terrible.
Because
the road is not it's not well expanded. Let government do it now and let's see it. We give kudos to any government that will do it. That government will deserve an award. Niger Delta people will gather and then give an award to such a president.
Now, speaking about transparency,
I know time is coming. 2019 is by the corner. You come and beg us for our votes. We will not vote for you if you don't fix that road.
All right, let me just bump in here. Speaking of transparency, the NDDC, one of the many interventions of government to solve the problem of the Niger Delta, including the Niger Delta Ministry and other intervention, moves by previous governments. The NDDC is saying that it plans to audit that particular commission and has complained about political interference as being at the root of some of the failure that's been recorded with the ministry, with the NDDC specifically. Would you support an audit? And do you believe that there is political interference when it comes to NDDC delivering on its job and, of course, the Niger Delta Ministry?
My sister, this auditing is overdue. If I have my way, and if government will listen to me, scrap NDDC. decentralize their functions to the states. That's all. They are not doing anything. No NDDC project has effectively been completed 100%. Go across the whole area where NDDC projects are being executed, none has come to completion. Roads, buildings, whatever they are doing. People just collect money and go away. They just collect this money and no monitoring. What are they going to audit now? They want to bring a company where they siphon money through again. It's several trillions of naira over the years. One management will come and tell you maybe the documents from the past government they inherited is missing. Let's take another time. That makes it like a vicious cycle. So if they want to audit, let them audit. Must you tell us that you want to audit? Go on and do your job. And then set your management in place, do the work, supervise, and ensure the public are watching now. Nigerians are getting more wise. In fact, they are getting wiser, rather. It's no more business as usual. Now, if you don't do any good work, we chase you away.
So how would you react to allegations? How would you react to allegations of political interference in the affairs of the NDDC?
Of course. Yeah, no. That is very, very basic. It is for political patronage. All the executive director position, nobody.
Kaska, are you there?
Or the MD of NDDC is the executive, like an executive. It's a compensation. Maybe you have contested election, you failed. You did not win your primaries because you have a little crowd. To compensate you so that you prepare for 2019, they give you one position. Not just NDDC, most of the federal parastatal, FEMA. What is FEMA? What are they doing? What is NDDC doing? You can see clashing of interests, clashing of functions. Who does what? One 230 meters stretch. You see FEMA signboard there. The other stretch, you see NDDC, and you see NDDC's own. You see the billboard has collapsed, which shows that nothing is happening there. Did I go and push it down, or
all right,
who did it?
So Kaska, can we safely assume then? Can we safely assume then that the problem with the East-West road is more political than technical?
It is more political. That is why people will squander money, steal money, and no government talks. The awardee and the one who gets the contract, everybody goes back to and drink champagne for a job well done. That's all. It's out of political interference. If they want to do this thing professionally, get those who know the job, let government pull off their hands. You have Minister of Works, you have NDDC. Minister of Niger Delta. Doing what? Then you have NDDC. Or clashing and sharing the money. No, it can never go on again.
But how have prominent
the senators, the House of Rep, they are all seated there, carrying bogus salaries, doing nothing. No, you can't continue. Okay then,
Kaska, how have prominent sons and groups in the Niger Delta engaged with the NDDC in letting the commission know that this is the problem we're facing, this is what you should do? Have there been some form of dialogue and
they flock together? It's best of same feather. Best of same feather. They flock together.
If
so
government
what do you want them to do?
If government were to scrap the NDDC like you've just prescribed, wouldn't that be back to square one, where you have the people of the Niger Delta crying out that government has neglected them and is not intervening in any way at all? NDDC is meant to...
My sister, part of our problem are those our big brothers and sisters from Niger Delta also, who connive with them and say this is their turn to eat and share money and go away. If not, we've had MDs from River State, from Bayelsa, from Delta. What did they do? This is their own home. What did they do? They are cooling off now. Some of them now were recycled back as senators or House of Reps members to go and formulate law to protect their stolen wealth. That's all. But they are part of the looting committee.
But then if you don't have faith in the members of the Niger Delta that are part of the commission and, of course, the Ministry of the Niger Delta, who then would you, as a member of the region, have faith in to harp on the problems and the plight of the people to the federal government?
I still think that the government can do something, irrespective of what must have happened. Let government refocus their attention on that road. Let government have pity on the common masses, the commoners who are being chased off the road by these our brothers, senators, House of Reps, even local government councillors chase people off road. They are because they are honorables. And these days, once you have contested election and failed, you are entitled to go in a convoy with security escort. So let them have pity on us. Those of us who don't even want to or who don't intend to, have pity on us. We are in majority. We are in majority. So if government should refocus their attention on this road, and then we all have free passage. If the road, the lane is 5-6 lane, you take the speed lane as an honorable. Take the speed lane where you can go 2,000 kilometers per hour, no problem. Leave the other foot track, the slow lane for us. But now when the road is only one lane, we are all fighting for space on this part of the road. And it does not, the competition there will be terrible. Me on foot, you in a Hummer Jeep or a bulletproof Lexus. You push me off. Or in a worst case scenario, you kill me or kill the others.
All right, so how confident are you?
We still think government can do it.
Yes. How confident are you in this government, that it can really solve this problem?
I have confidence that the government can deliver.
Okay.
Provided they will have listening ear. Provided cabals will give them chance to operate. Provided they don't listen to side talks. Because I did not vote for you, therefore I am supposed to die. Who told you that? I'm entitled to be a Nigerian. I was born here. My parents are from here. I believe in this government. But let them stop listening to cabals who go to tune their head both at local government, state government and federal government levels. They are there, not just federal government. All along the line, they are there. They know themselves. Very soon, they will form a party of cabals and they will rule Nigeria.
Are these cabals from within the Niger Delta region?
It is enough.
Are the cabals from within the Niger Delta region?
I'm sure you listen to me very well. I said both at the state levels, local government level and federal level. I did not specify one. I said all across is down the line.
All right,
Let them allow those in governance to actually use.
Okay, earlier you said that failure to complete the road project could lead to protest pretty soon. Did you say that as a matter of fact of a member belonging to a group that is planning one, or you just made a prediction?
I don't. No. I'm a professional person. I'm on my own. I'm talking as Kaska Ogosu. I'm not talking on behalf of any group. I wasn't sent here by anybody. I have been talking on different media on normal issues, security, contemporary issues. We talk on it just to help Nigerians to go forward. That is all my contribution. If this discourse can make government refocus their attention on this road, so let it be. I'll go on talking on it. If I'm invited tomorrow or next week, every day I keep on doing it. I don't mind. I woke up by 4 a.m. for a distance of 45 kilometers. Just 4 a.m. Can you imagine that? Coming down, going back, I don't know when you get home. Sometimes you go home 12 midnight, 1 a.m. What of the hazards of the road? The unseen hand on the road. What happens to you security-wise?
So ultimately,
we only believe in God that by the grace of God will be salvaged.
So ultimately, it seems that it all boils down to the political will to get this done.
And of course, in addition to that, the MD of the NDDC.
You have just said it all. The political will to get things done.
Yes, let me just quickly put this in.
The money is there.
70 billion will be required to fix the East-West road, but we'll have to leave it there. Kaska Ogosu, thank you so much. It's been such a delight and very eye-opening and mind-boggling.
Thank you.
Your contribution on TVC Breakfast this morning. Thank you so much.